Hi guys, so welcome back to another awesome episode of Two Wacky Pundits, Dr. D and Dr. A.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly today.
It's a bit chilly, so we kind of dressed up a bit to save on the heating expenses.
We just had a bit of a snafu. We just recorded a session and then had to re-record it because it wouldn't...
The SD card fucked up, basically.
Yeah, fucked us up.
So that's okay, no worries. This is part and parcel of the job.
Part and parcel of the job, Ma'am Thomas.
So today we're going to talk about another book, yeah?
Yes, about Vernon Coleman's Diary of a Disgruntled Man. Okay. This guy is a hoot and a holler. He's a British physician who gave up his work as a doctor to self-publish books.
We got pissed off with all the patients, probably.
Yes, he got pissed off with all the patients.
Don't I know
Definitely. He writes about them all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Some of them even committed suicide at one point, but anyway, that's...
What, the patients?
Yeah, the patients. He's a bit of a contradiction, this guy. He's a bit absent-minded. He, for instance, in one part of the book, he declares that he will never publish books on the internet. Mm-hmm. But I've read most of his books on my Kindle, online.
Counterintuitive then.
Very counterintuitive.
Statement.
And he says that the books printed today are too large. They are too big in size. That they used to be small enough at the font level. They used to be small enough that you could fit them in your pocket.
And now?
And now look at the books he's publishing now.
A4.
A4 size.
And let's have a look at the font.
The font is so big.
It's like for kids.
It's like for kids.
Yeah, okay. I think this is aimed at the senior population, though.
Definitely. I think most of his buyers, most of his audience,
local,
senior,
British, and over 50.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Target demographic. So
let's read some of his excerpts.
Yeah, what's this diary about?
This diary is about everything under the sun. Mm-hmm. But he has a beef with a lot of people.
Namely?
The publishing industry.
Okay, alright.
Agents.
Right.
Agents don't really care about readers. They only care about what publishers want. And publishers want what their marketing people think will sell to the wholesalers. The whole chain is littered with faults because most of the people with the power to say yes or no to a book don't know anything much about books or readers. It is a simple fact that most of the people with the power to decide what books will be published never buy books at all. Most of them never actually read any books.
I have to admit, it makes sense.
Yes, agents.
It's from my experience as well. Because
agents don't care.
So for anyone who is a writer, just to clarify for the readers, there are like a few hurdles that a writer has in order to get his or her book up in the hands of the readers. So you cannot just send a manuscript to a publishing house anymore. That will never work. What you need to do is that you have to find an agent that reads your work, and then he or she decides, the agent, if it's up to standard or if it is within the realm of the themes that the current publishing houses are ready to accept and publish.
That's right.
So once you convince the agent that your work is good, then the agent has to bust his ass or her ass in order to get your book signed up with a publishing house. And once that hurdle is jumped, then you have your book in the bookshelves of the bookstore, but then they have the biggest hurdle, finding readers.
That's right.
Okay? So in the past, this used to be, let's say, much tougher in the past. Nowadays, in the digital era, most of the new up-and-coming authors, if they're worth their salt and they're tech savvy, they will start a massive marketing campaign before the release of the book,
True.
during the release of the book, and after as well.
True.
Okay, using this platform, what we are using now as well, and all the other online platforms. Okay, we don't need to mention them. So the chances are higher. So quantity of publications are increasing. The quality is the problem.
The quality is always the problem.
So
I read books written 50 years ago, which, I mean, these books
stood the test of time.
couldn't hold a candle to them. It really is. The separation between quality is amazing.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Anyway, let's read something else.
Another excerpt from this diary.
I felt that I was being separated from my readers by masses of people, mostly parasites, who didn't understand anything about books and who certainly didn't know what people wanted to read.
Okay.
The problem, I suspect, is that most of the people involved in the bookselling business these days don't give a fig about books. They would be just as happy selling cat food or hair dryers. A few decades ago, people went into publishing, bookselling, and librarianship because they loved books. No more. Publishing and bookselling are now simple trades. The people involved would be selling beans or socks if the profit margins were better. I care desperately about books because they have been my life. Most writers are not professionals. They have other jobs as journalists, editors, teachers, and reviewers to pay their bills. And their earnings as writers are often modest and often well below the national minimum wage. I have been a professional freelance writer for 30 years since I gave up practicing medicine, and for 20 years I've published my own books. Throughout that time I have earned my living entirely by my pen, my typewriter, and my computer. I care passionately about books. So you can see that he's being truthful, he's being passionate, he's being honest. He's being all of these things.
Okay. So, I think most of the stuff that he says are they make sense. Because this guy he gave up a career in medicine.
Yeah. Which is very lucrative.
Which in the UK can bring at very least 100,000 sterling a year.
Mm-hmm.
And going down to freelance writing.
It's a step down.
So
it's a step down.
20,000, maybe 30,000 if you're lucky.
Yeah, if he's good enough.
If you're good, then you have a readership.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the guy shows that he's an idealist, that's for sure.
Yes, he's an idealist.
The only thing is that when you are writing a diary and trying to publish it, you have to make sure that the thoughts inside that there's a story that's flowing. Because if it is totally random thoughts, it will be difficult to follow for the reader.
This is the random thoughts.
At least from my experience as a reader.
I actually prefer it this way because it's a treat every day. Every day you read something new.
True, but you have to take it at face value.
Uh-huh.
But we are in the minority here.
Yeah, we are.
Because he's trying to sell to the average Joe.
Yeah,
that's a big fucking challenge.
Definitely.
Yeah? So
let's read one last bit.
Mm-hmm.
Modern publishers and agents won't look at books which are a challenge to the establishment because they are themselves representative of the corporate establishment and are themselves usually politically correct folk, left-inclined, and believing fervently in such modern nonsenses as multiculturalism. Multicultural means that outside cultures are promoted and ours is suppressed. The world is, of course, inescapably and by definition multicultural.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there on this last one. Doesn't mean that multiculturalism, you're going to denigrate let's say the native population. Doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way.
I'm going to be devil's advocate here, okay? So, that for me is pretty biased, that statement.
But in Britain, they have...
Yeah, I know. Even more so then.
They have...
Even more so.
The whole world is of course inescapably and by definition multicultural, but to force individual societies to become multicultural is absurd and doomed to failure.
Again, that's a negative outlook. It's my opinion, sorry. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it.
You don't have to be sorry. This is a forum.
But in the sense that in the sense that people can live together. I mean, from different races.
Yeah, but when they take over, then it's game over.
Yeah, but this is it. Yeah, everybody has the same equality.
Yeah, but the Japanese, for instance,
No,
have their own
no.
culture. I wouldn't
No.
ever imagine the Japanese culture being taken over by somebody else, by the Arabs, for instance.
But there's a shit ton of different people living in Japan. It's not just Japanese.
Yeah, but
I can assure you, I've been there a few times.
I know, but Japan is Japanese, right?
No, but
India is Indian, Sri Lanka is Sri Lankan.
No, but what we're trying to say is you can still have other populations. Like, for example, in the Middle East, there are Christians living there. It's not all Muslims.
It's a smidgen.
No, but they are there and they have churches and they have everything.
Yeah, they even have beheadings.
Okay, so you're not going to compare Saudi Arabia with Qatar or with UAE. Okay, so you might not find churches in Saudi Arabia. I don't know, but you're going to find them in the other ones in GCC. That's just as an example. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it can work out.
Right.
And it should work out.
Right.
It should work
So
out.
you're an optimist.
Everybody's like 9. Yes.
Optimist then.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm telling you that because I learned a lot from multiculturalism personally when I was abroad.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Alright.
if you're fucking locked up with the same population, you know, that's not good.
But for instance, like Bulgaria
You don't
or
learn.
Hungary,
Oh,
they have the lowest rate of terrorism in the world. That's because they have the lowest rate of multiculturalism. You know what I mean?
But what you're saying is just a correlation.
It's
That
a
has to be
valid.
proven. That has to be proven.
It's a valid
It's a correlation. You have to test it out.
You have to test it. You only have to look at Germany, which has a huge rate of, a huge proportion of Muslims living
No.
there. Look at the crime rates and terrorism rates in Germany.
Yeah, but I'm not going to buy it that if one culture stays in one geographical area that there's not going to be any fucking crime. That's bullshit. Sorry.
Of course, not no. I didn't say no crime. I said terrorism.
Yeah, but still. In the sense, I'm gonna say that
All right. What was the
agree to
expression?
disagree in this case.
Agree to disagree.
And that's what the program is all about here.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I do believe that multiculturalism can work and has worked.
Okay.
The only thing is that too much of a good thing is always a negative.
That's right.
Okay, that I will give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have people coming in, they move to another country, and then they expect.
And here in this country, 1/5 of the population
No,
is.
let me talk, because I know all this stuff, this race stuff is particularly nice for you. When you have a culture that moves to another country, okay, and then within 10, 20, 30 years, they demand, okay, that national customs are changed. Okay, like for example the crucifix on the wall and all in church, in schools and all that. That I disagree personally. However, I have no problems when you have cultures from other countries having their own communities and doing their own thing, as long as you respect the law of the land.
Usually that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but this is it. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, if I go to the Middle East, there are certain customs that I know that I have to abide by.
Of course.
If I don't abide by them, then it is my duty to fuck off.
Or you get your head chopped off.
Whatever it is, the law of the land.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you respect the law of the land. But you can still develop your own community. Then from the other part, the land, so, you know, the government of that country, where this new culture is now developing, obviously has to have accommodating up to a certain point,
All right.
so that everybody coexists. A perfect example of this, you know where it is? Singapore. Singapore, you got like all different spectrums of religions, and they're all there, And there's no issues, there's no fighting between different communities. None of this.
No,
None.
right.
Zero.
Alright.
You can have a Buddhist temple, and next door you have a Catholic church, and then you have a mosque. No problem at all.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright. That's not
So-
the case here.
But in most places, no. But Singapore multiculturalism has definitely worked, in my opinion.
Alright.
So, okay, so
Okay, guys.
I think that's enough for today. Check out the book if you're interested. We'll put in the details down below as usual. Okay. And
Leave a comment.
Yeah, positive, negative,
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Just leave a comment.
And so we'll see you in the next episode. Okay. Bye for now.
May your God be with you.
Indeed. Bye.